have to dress up something that...
Why am I dressed up like a slave?
Are you going to talk about the person who was...
Yeah, but my ancestry goes back before slavery.
But that's what you're talking about. You're talking about the freed slave person. I'm saying we were going to dress up to represent the person we were talking about.
Okay. And what were you dressed up as?
I don't know, something. What's up, fam? Welcome back to T&V Nation. It's your girl, Tawana.
And your boy, Vaughn. And we are back with another video.
Yeah.
Tonight is night, I don't know what, of the Crazy Days of Christmas Challenge. I don't know the number, but I know the name. It is National Roots Day. So tonight we're going to be getting into some, just telling y'all, sharing a little bit from our heritage, our ancestry with y'all. And hopefully we get to see some of y'all's videos tonight too. So what we eating on?
We have some pinto beans with some turkey sausage. Your girl did cook this meal. Some air fried chicken. So we're going to eat on that while we talk about our ancestors on this National Roots Day.
Yes. Can you pass the
Oh,
grace?
yeah. We got the Grace hot pepper sauce on deck. We always got that on deck.
So how many of y'all have done genealogy studies for your family? And how far did you take it? Did you do the whole DNA test thing and all of that? There's a lot of skepticism about that.
I'm skeptical about it. I haven't done it. You know, I'm not going to get into what my skepticism is about, but I haven't done it, is all I'm saying. My dad did it, so I got some information about my ancestors from him, but he knew a lot already. But you did it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's cool.
It's cool, but, you know, every 6 months or so, maybe once a year, they'll come back and say that so you know when you do that, it gives you the percentages of likelihood that your ancestry is located in a certain country or whatever. Every 6 months to a year, they'll come back and say the percentages have changed a little bit.
You got to pay to get the new information? Because y'all know. So, yeah, go ahead about the changes. I said I wouldn't get into my skepticism. I'm not. I'm really not. Continue.
But that kind of makes it a little more skeptical. Because I mean, of course, what they explain is as more data comes out, as more people all over the world submit their DNA samples, that provides a bigger, sample size and a bigger group of people, bigger pool to pull all this stuff from. And then I guess sometimes some strand of your DNA will all of a sudden pop up somewhere else, or the percentages might change, you know.
Anyway, what y'all eating on today? I know y'all eating on something good. Y'all always eating on good stuff. We eating these beans with some good Grace hot pepper sauce. It's smoking hot. I'm burning my mouth. I love air fried chicken, y'all. Air fry anything good.
That air fryer can be addicting. The only problem is the cleanup.
With the one we have, but you said we might get a new one so that it's not as much to clean up. It gets into like the cracks or whatever. The crevices.
All down in the door. I don't know if we need one more appliance though.
We have nowhere to put any more appliances. So, hopefully some of y'all will be participating in this National Roots Day and will learn some things about your roots that we don't already know. I had a hard time. I didn't have a hard time trying to come up with something. There was something that I could easily talk about, just sort of a fun fact. I had a hard time deciding. That's what I want to talk about, because I wanted to talk about something else, but I don't really I don't have nothing else like that I know about that is, I guess, significant enough to talk about.
You're saying you wanted to talk about something else because you wanted to not talk about that?
In a way, I wanted to have something else to talk about. And I may, but I don't know. You know?
Well, you got better think quick.
No, I'm gonna share. That's what I'm saying. I don't have nothing else. There's nothing else that I know about of any significance with my ancestors that would be worth sharing.
You're saying you might have something else and just not know it.
Mm-hmm. So I can't talk about it because I don't know. I'm sure we all have stuff, but I don't know it.
Y'all, I was able to trace my ancestry all the way back to a slave ship manifest. Now, you talk about suspect and skepticism. On those manifests, there were no names, there were no countries of origin. It would just say male Negro, 35 years old, female Negro, 12 years old. You know, that's what it looked like. So y'all know they weren't keeping up with names, who's married to who, where these people came from versus where they came from. So how you trace my tree onto that manifest? That's my question. There was nothing about them that would have made it into any kind of record. I mean, of course now, plantation owners they went out and bought something, even if it was a person, because that was part of their inventory. I mean, it's sad we have to talk about it like that, but that's what it was. Because that was part of their inventory, they may have kept records of that. But how you trace not my DNA, but because this was before I did the DNA part of it. How do you trace records back to that person?
Right.
That person who had no identity, according to the people who brought them over here.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess that's how they hook us in. Because there's a little excitement when you find something like that, you know. That was you go around thinking that ain't something we're supposed to be able to find, and then you find it.
You think you find it.
So you want to go first?
No, you go first.
Why you want me to go first?
Because let's do.
So on that same side of the family, where I found the slave manifest, this is my maternal grandfather's family. Okay? What I found was my third great grand uncle. That's how they describe it on Ancestry.com. I mean, I ain't never heard nobody say grand uncle. We would say great 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 uncle, something like that. But I don't feel like trying to figure out how many greats that would be. They said third great grand uncle. His second wife was the first teacher. So they opened a school. This guy's brother, the uncle that she married, his brother and some other folks from other plantations started a school. It was called the Willow Hill School, and this was somewhere in Georgia. But his wife, my third great grand aunt through marriage, was 15 years old, and she became one of the first teachers at that school. So, I mean, I thought that was kind of neat to find that, and I'm gonna put pictures on the screen and all that. So.
You have pictures of her? Ancestry you found them yourself, or they sent it to you?
One of my family members on that side had it.
Oh, so they already knew about it. You didn't hear that story growing up? Nobody told you? Wow.
Y'all know how our families get splintered off. And now they've told stories amongst themselves. That part of my grandfather's family is very knowledgeable of their history. It's just I didn't spend a whole lot of time with his family.
Oh, that's on your father's side.
No. my maternal grandfather.
I thought you said paternal, no?
Maternal.
Oh. I heard it wrong.
So this was my mom's dad's family.
Oh.
But yeah, I got a picture of her. I have a picture of students at the school. A drawing of the school.
You know her name? What was her name?
Oh, I'm sorry. Guess I should have said that. So her name was... It comes up as Georgianne or Georgiana sometimes. But her maiden name was Georgiana Riggs. Once she married my third great granduncle, she became Georgiana Riggs Parrish.
Oh, so she married him. That's neat.
She was his second wife.
That's interesting, isn't it, y'all? That's really cool. I wish I found some information like that. And like I said, my family members, they don't know anything significant about that as far as
Your dad did, though.
slave ancestors.
Oh.
He's found out some more information, and I haven't really gotten the details from him, but he sent me some documentation via my phone, and it was hard to read, and I didn't read it. It was a lot. So, but yeah, he found some interesting stuff. Some black freed people who had come from I don't know, France, I think. So I don't know, it's a lot, but yeah, I mean, so let me tell y'all this little fun fact about my ancestor. This is a judge-free zone, people. This is a judge-free zone.
This ain't got nothing to do with who you are.
Okay, so I'm just gonna tell y'all like it is. So, okay, so some of you may or may not know. Well, all of you probably know by now that I'm from Louisiana, and there's a lot of Creole folk out there. My father is Creole. So if you don't know what Creole is, because people get really confused, it's basically a mixed, you call it race or ethnicity? It's a mixture of ethnic groups, which I guess is multiracial type thing. It's a mixture of African, French, and Spanish. So that makes up the Creole race. And it's not considered race. That makes up the Creole group of people. So when I was a little girl growing up, I always knew about my father's heritage. I mean, my father is obviously Creole. I have family members. Many of them look, this is my dad's side. My mom's side is African American, but her ancestors are probably all African. But on my dad's side, I mean, I've always had family members that you can't even tell that some of them are black. And there was, some of you may also be familiar with passing. I had family members who passed, meaning they could pass to be non-black because they didn't look it.
I ain't met none of them.
No, you haven't met them. You haven't met many. The only family member you met was my dad. Mm-hmm. So you haven't met them.
On
but
my dad's side.
Yeah. But the pastors, they don't live here anyway, so you would meet them. But anyway, so I've always known about this, my mixed ancestry. But one of the things that my dad told me from a little girl growing up, I've always known this, was that Francis Scott Key, my maiden name is Key, so some of you, may know who Francis Scott Key is, probably all of you. So as a little girl, my dad would always tell us Francis Scott Key was, I don't know which number, great grandfather on his dad's side. And so my dad was a descendant of Francis Scott Key. Francis Scott Key wrote the Star Spangled Banner. And so my dad, it seemed like that was something my dad was proud of because, like I said, as a little girl, I've heard this my whole life. And so I guess he wanted us to know. So I've always known that. But that's as far as it went. It's like, just like I said, one of those facts that I know. I've never really done anything with that information. I've never really did more digging to see what the exact extent of the what do you call it, relationship is. But yeah, I have a very complicated, I think it's complicated, heritage. It's on my dad's side, it's all mixed up. And so, like I said, I wish I had something, I wish I had some significant African descendant that I could speak on. But I'm pretty sure I do. I just don't know. I don't know that information. So I have to do some digging. So, yeah.
So can I ask a question?
I don't care.
Why did you say this is a judge-free zone?
Well, I said this is a judge-free zone because, you know, which it really ain't about me, but Francis Scott Key was a supporter of slavery, an owner of slaves, and I mean, who wasn't though back then?
He was an owner of slaves?
Mm-hmm. I don't know for sure. He probably was. Wasn't all rich white men owners of slaves?
Most of them, but not. I mean, was he rich? He was in France though, right?
He came from France to America. He was a poet. He was a lawyer. He had a combination of things that he did. So he was probably considered well-to-do back in the day. Okay. So most likely he had slaves.
Go ahead with your explanation.
I don't know for sure, y'all, but I mean, probably the man had slaves. What was your question, though? I forgot.
You were explaining why you said this is a judge-free zone.
Oh. Well, because I don't want people to be like, you know, like Francis Scott Key. I guess many people probably only know that he wrote the Star Spangled Banner. But you were saying some other things about him being more openly supportive of slavery and things, right?
Do you want me to explain this?
You don't have to explain it all, I'm just saying. Is that right?
Because of the stanzas of the Star Spangled Banner
that were left off.
That we don't sing.
Yeah.
They weren't left off, we just don't sing them.
So anyway, I think most people probably don't know that because we don't sing those. So apparently, you could explain that because that'll help you guys understand why I said this is a judge-free zone. I think many of you may not know this. We all know Francis Scott Key was a supporter of slavery, most likely owned slaves. I mean, this was what, 1800 something? I mean, of course he was a slave owner. And, you know, it's like to know that you were related to that person, you know, just people might feel some type of way about that, but you can't help. I mean, ain't nothing I can do about that.
So what she was talking about earlier about about the parts that we don't sing, yeah, most of us didn't know this, and probably maybe a lot of people still don't know it. But after Kaepernick started all that kneeling and stuff, and then there was everything that happened after that, it started coming out that, well, why do you want us to sing this racist song anyway? Like, they talk about the third stanza, which nobody sings. But there's reference in that stanza to basically no slave will ever be free. That's basically what he says. So, yeah, that started coming out. People started talking about that, saying, "Why? How you gonna force us to sing this racist song? How come we don't sing? Y'all have so much reverence for this song, yet you don't sing the third stanza." You know, all this kind of stuff. So that people might feel people who know about that may feel some type of way. Now that y'all know it, you might be feeling some type of way.
But I think a lot of people don't know that. I didn't even know that.
They know it now.
I didn't know that, y'all, because like I said, my dad never told me that part. He said, you know, you're related to Francis Scott Key. He wrote the Star Spangled Banner. That's what they teach us in school. So I knew who he was. I knew a little bit about his. Only thing I did was I researched him a little bit more. That's how I knew he, you know, some of the things that he did. But yeah, that's why I said no. This is a judge-free zone. Don't be looking at me side-eye talking about you relate to who? Y'all. We all got those ancestors. Y'all know it.
Family, this the family. Y'all ain't thinking like that, are you? This Vaughn and Tawana. Or wait, it's Tawana.
You wrong. You so wrong.
But yeah, we know y'all don't think like that. Y'all love us. Y'all always rock with us. So.
And it's a fun fact, y'all. Y'all can't tell me that's not a fun fact. You learned something about me that you didn't know.
And I mean, if we're gonna be honest, you know, all of us who are black can trace our black non-African, like very far removed from being
got their wine on deck,
from being in Africa. Oh, even the Caribbeans and all of them. All of us can trace our ancestry back to some slave owner.
Oh, absolutely.
So, who may have raped somebody and started our lineage. So, it is what it is.
Exactly. That's what I always say. It is what it is. I mean, you know what? We're in America. This is a melting pot. We are definitely not a pure race of people. So it's nobody's fault. It is what it is, and you know, it's just fun information to have. That's the way I see it. But you know.
On that note, y'all, this tray is empty, and we've told our stories. So we're gonna bid y'all a farewell. So thank y'all for rocking with us as always. Make sure you share this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that thumbs up button. Comment down below. Tell us any thoughts you may have about what we talked about today. Or if you just want to comment on the red beans and rice.
Or tell us something about your roots that would be interesting. Leave it down below.
Now let me tell y'all the days that are remaining. Because we almost done. We done this week, y'all. So tomorrow actually is National Eggnog Day. And then the 26th is National Whiner's Day.
Wow.
So again, check out the description to get a few more details about the 2 remaining days. Check out the playlist with all our challenges is going to be, the video where we originally put out this challenge is going to be right here. So y'all can check that out if you haven't already. But we will see y'all on the next one. T&V Nation.